We're live.
Hey everyone, welcome. So this is actually our first live stream, and actually Corey did a little test live stream about an hour ago, and so this is actually our first one now that we know how to do it. So one of our friends here on YouTube asked a few questions, and I thought it would be really interesting to create a video to answer her questions live, since probably other people are asking the same questions. So I'm going to have Corey read the questions to me. These questions are from Jackie. So Jackie, here are the answers to your questions.
Okay. Hi, guys. We're first sorry. I'm reading. We're getting used to this. And also, hi, Marwan.
Hey, Marwan.
And we're glad to be back live also.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 1 is, what do you see?
What do I see? Well, first of all, before I answer that question, I'm actually going to reach, the camera's on a tripod, so I'm going to reach out and feel for it so I know where to look, because right now I have no idea where to look. Usually before I record a video, I usually feel around for the camera to make sure I'm looking in the right spot. So I'm going to do that real quick because I didn't really do that before. So, okay. So now that I'm feeling, okay, so now I have a better idea of where to actually look. So what do I see? I see light. I mostly see light. So right now I can tell that there's a big bright light because we're sitting at the table. I can see that there's a big bright light above us. So I can see that. And I can see contrast, provided it is a significant contrast difference. So if it is like black and white, I can see a difference between, the colors. I might not be able to tell the different colors specifically, but I can tell that there's contrast between the colors. So here's kind of a random example. So last night, so we were actually just on vacation last week, and I always like to see how tan I am because I typically get pretty tan and I like to get dark. It's just something I like to do. So last night when we were at the gym, in the locker room, the lockers are a dark color. I don't know what color they actually are, but they're a dark color. And on my hands, if you see on my fingers, I have something called vitiligo. What it is, it's basically I just lost the pigment in my skin. So like my fingertips are white. They don't tan at all. So I have that actually on both hands. I have it all over my body, but just my hands is one place. So anyway, last night I was in the locker room, and what I did is I walked up to the locker. Since the lockers are so dark, I took my hand and put it against the locker, and I was looking at my hand, and my hand, I could see a little bit of it, but what I could tell is that my fingertips from like my middle knuckle up to my fingertip was bright white. And I thought, oh, I can see that pretty well because it's such a significant color contrast difference between the white fingers and the dark lockers. So it's kind of a weird example, but that just happened last night. I was trying to get a gauge for how dark I am or how what my tan looks like right now. So that was the way that I did it. I held my hand up against the dark locker, and I thought, oh, I'll just compare my hand to the locker, and I noticed my white fingers. So what else do I see? Like I said, I see light. Not a whole lot other than that. As far as like, I don't see the camera. I can't see the camera. When I reached out, I just felt for it, so I have an idea of where to look. I cannot recognize faces. So, yeah, I think that explains it a little bit.
Like in our living room right now, I mean, it's tough because you know where everything is. So you kind of have a picture of everything, but like just like looking out into our living room right now, you really can't see anything. It's like,
no. What
does it look like?
It's black. So I'm looking, on the other side of the camera is the living room. So over there, I know exactly what we have, and I know exactly the layout of the room. So there's an end table, a couch, another end table with a lamp, and then like a love seat, the front door, and then there's the TV that's on a table. So I know exactly what's over there. But when I literally look over there, I don't see any of it. Nothing. Like it's literally just blackness. There's also a couple windows over there. I'm trying to see if I can see any light coming in from the windows, and I don't. The blinds are actually pulled right now, but usually along both sides of the blinds, I can see some light coming in. But the reason I can't is because this big bright light above us is distorting the contrast. So it's kind of like washing out the image for me. So I can't see it because of that. But if this light was turned off, I'd be able to see a little bit of light shining in. So I hope that answers the question. Do you think that's thorough a little bit?
I think it's good, actually.
Okay.
Whenever Matt describes his vision, I feel like I learn more about what he actually sees. because it's not, what you see is different. It's hard for anyone to describe their vision because you only know what you know. And so every time Matt describes his vision, I learn something new about what he sees.
Yeah. And something else that's interesting, there's been many times that we've gone to the gym or the grocery store and we'll walk outside and it will be dark out, but I can't tell. I'll look up at the sky and say, like, it looks bright out to me for some reason, whatever the reason is, I don't know. But I'll look up and think, oh, it's bright. And I'll ask Corey, is it bright out? Is it still light? And she said, no, it's black. It's just weird. Sometimes it looks bright to me and I don't know why.
That's actually like a really common conversation we have, is every time, like, Matt will ask me, like, is it bright outside? Is it sunny? Is it cloudy? Because he'll see, like, today it's snowing out, and so the sky is bright, but it's really not sunny, but it looks bright. So he'll ask, like, oh, is it sunny out? And it's like, well, it's not, like, sunny, but it's bright. And because he used to have vision, he knows what I mean. Yeah. But it's, like, I feel like that's a common question at our house, is, like, what is it exactly like outside?
Yeah, there's many times. I ask multiple times a day, no matter who I'm with. Oh, is it sunny out now? Because I just love the sun. I love being in the sun. So anytime I look outside and I see it's bright, it's like, oh, the sun's coming out. And then whoever I'm with is usually like, no, actually it's raining. It's like, oh, okay, well, it looked really bright out to me and I got excited, but then I learned that it's not. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Jackie, as far as what I can see. I guess the best answer is I can see light, bright light, and I can see contrast between, like black and white, or very distinct color contrast differences. So black and white, or like brown and white, but anything more than that, any colors that are maybe like a red and a blue, I can't tell the difference between that. Just everything looks dark. So,
next question. How long have you been diagnosed?
I was diagnosed when, actually, it was on my 15th birthday. I don't know if Corey ever knew that. It was literally,
you learned about it in a video.
Yeah, it was on my 15th birthday. So I'm currently 34, so it's just a little over 19 years. I'm 34 and my birthday's in September. So yeah, my 15th birthday is when I was diagnosed with RP. Probably could have been diagnosed much earlier than that. We had no clue what was going on with my vision. We knew for probably a couple years that something wasn't right, just based on, how just everything that was going on in my life. If I were to drop something on the floor, I would look down to try to find it, and I wouldn't be able to see it. Or, it would take me a while to be able to see it. And it didn't matter what it was. If it was maybe like a coin, a pencil, a piece of paper, anything. I dropped it on the floor and it took me a while to see it. Or if I was outside throwing a ball around with my dad or my brother, or throwing a frisbee back and forth, or even if I was outside and if I heard an airplane flying over and I looked up, I wouldn't be able to find it in the sky for a while. It would take me a while to actually look around and find it. So we knew that something wasn't right with my vision. So I would say we probably saw symptoms like that as early as maybe like 11 or 12. And then it took a few years to figure out what was going on. And we actually did see multiple different doctors, and no one had an answer for us, except we finally got to one guy. He said, I don't know what's going on. I see something. It doesn't look right. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to refer you to a retina specialist. And he did that. And then the retina specialist was the guy who was able to give the diagnosis. So 15.
Okay. And then I wanted to just jump in quick because we have Andrew who just joined us, Revenge Rage. Hey, we're so happy you're here. And then Marwan had a question.
Okay.
He was wondering about, because of your low vision, obviously, he wonders like who shops for your clothes and how you decide what to wear every day because you can't see the color differences. LOL.
Marwan, obviously you're not married yet. Come on. So no. So who shops for my clothes? I would say it's a team effort. I'm very specific and I'm very particular with the type of clothes that I wear. I like something that fits in a certain way. So I would say we would go to the store, Corey and I, and we would pick out a few different things that both of us like, and then I try it on. If I like it, if I like how it fits, how it feels, we'll get it. If I don't like it, it's an automatic no, because I know that if I pick something out, even if Corey likes it and it doesn't fit me right, I just know that I'm not going to wear it. So I would say it's more of a team effort. She helps me pick out the things that look nice, and what would look good on me. And I'm always asking her for her recommendations as far as, does this actually look good on me? Or would it be awkward if I wore this or something? So then we work together to go shopping and buy the clothes that are for me. As far as what I wear each day, I would say I typically pick that out, but if we have some kind of gathering that we're going to, some kind of social gathering or more of a formal event of some kind, I'm always asking Corey for her advice on what I should wear, like what color shirt or what I should wear with my shirt or, just examples like that, or what color tie I should wear with the shirt. So yeah, again, I always ask Corey for her advice on what I should wear, but I'd say typically if we don't have much going on, I'm just the type of person that wears either shorts and a t-shirt or jeans and a t-shirt and a sweatshirt. As you can see, this time of year, I'm always wearing a sweatshirt. And usually just a t-shirt underneath. That's just what I do. It's just, I'm comfortable like that. And I like,
So like all of his white shirts,
Yep.
he puts in one pile, and then Andrew just wrote, guys that see 2020 ask their wives this. Like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like whether you can see or not, it's kind
Yeah.
of like my decision.
Yeah.
But Matt has a pile of like white t-shirts, so he knows all of those are white when we do the laundry, and then the other t-shirts he'll like ask me, about which one is this or whatever when we're packing to like go somewhere.
Right. Yep. So I have multiple different piles of different clothes. So when I do laundry and I fold the clothes, I separate the clothes into different piles right away. And then I also store them in my dresser in specific piles. So I know which pile like correlates to what I'm going to be doing. For example, I have like some just junky white t-shirts that I kind of wear around the house. They don't go outside of the house. If I'm doing something around here, I just throw a crappy white t-shirt on. Otherwise, I have nicer white t-shirts that I wear to the gym typically. And then I have another stack of just random t-shirts that have some kind of design or logo, or maybe a little bit nicer t-shirts that I wear like on weekends when I'm going out to possibly see people or just be out and about. So.
Also, Jackie just joined us.
Oh, hey, Jackie.
Yay! We're so happy that you're here.
Yeah. So, Jackie, we are answering your questions right now. So thanks for joining.
Let's go on to the next question.
Okay, so Jack, we've answered 2 so far. You might have to go back and watch those, but
Yeah.
We're on to the next question here.
Okay. The next one is, I think this is a good one. How are you now accepting your low vision?
This is a live stream, so no editing allowed. So I'll try to keep it PG or maybe PG-13. So no, how do I accept it? I don't know if I'm even accepting it. I would say I'm more tolerating it more than accepting. I guess it's just the reality. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that doctors or researchers or scientists can do about it right now. So I accept the fact that there's nothing that can be done right now. So I'm tolerating it with the expectation that I hope and I'm planning for someday that there will be a cure for us and that I can, all of us can relive a normal, independent lifestyle. So I would say I definitely have hard, frustrating times. Every so Corey can definitely agree with that. Unfortunately, she takes the blunt of my frustration sometimes because that's just how it is. When you are married or you're with family, something like that, typically those people, the ones that are always there for you through everything, are unfortunately the ones that have to take the blunt of everything. So, like I said, I would probably say I tolerate it more than accept it. I tolerate it through, like, how do I get by with it? I would say something that's very important to me is just focusing on and pursuing what I love to do. And a few of those things are traveling. I really enjoy working out and always doing something, including like investments or watching the financial markets. So anything like that. So those few things always keep me motivated and just continuing to go on and somewhat just overlook the whole vision thing. So it has turned into more of like my reality, as in there's nothing I can do about it. It's just something that I've learned to deal with and work with. So I don't know. Is there anything you can think of that I should hit on, that I should?
Yeah, I think that actually up until 6 months ago, Matt, we didn't use we pretty much didn't use the word blind.
Never.
And we never, I mean, we had to talk about his low vision because, you know, in life, when you can't see, you kind of have to bring it up. But I would say that up until 6 months ago, Matt you didn't identify yourself as a blind person when we would do things. You didn't want to talk about being blind. You didn't want to talk to blind people.
No.
And you didn't want to be in the blind group.
Mm-mm.
So like I would want to, like I was interested in, like, as a spouse of somebody who's blind, I wanted to learn more about like other people who are blind and understand like how do you be a spouse to somebody with low vision, or what is it like to be in Matt's situation. And Matt really wanted like nothing to do with it, because I thought it'd be great if he could like reach out to people and maybe like help people or have somebody help him, but he really didn't want anything to do with it. So 6 months ago, he started the YouTube channel. And I think that, hold on, Jackie, I'm reading your comment. I still don't know, but I'm guessing just reaching out and learning. Yeah, that's really like what's helped. So I think for Matt, starting the YouTube channel was a huge step forward. Initially, he wanted it. I am. Initially, he wanted to just kind of make it about travel and not about being blind.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a couple of weeks we were on vacation, and Marlon said, sometime we get scared to face the reality. I mean, I think this is all just so valuable.
Exactly.
But he realized, like, with the YouTube channel, that he kind of needed to make it about something besides just traveling, because we don't only travel.
Mm-hmm.
And the first video that Matt made about being blind, about what it's like to have retinitis pigmentosa, it was a huge deal to me, because he's never said the things he said in that video. Like, I had never heard his whole story the way he told it. And I, of course, because I'm ridiculously emotional, was like, crying like when I was taping it, because it was a big deal that he was putting it out there. And I'm just so proud that he can say the things he's saying. And this community that you guys are all part of has been the best. I think it's been the best thing ever for Matt's low vision. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So sometimes I need to kick her under the table. That means shut up.
I know.
Stop talking.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. So yeah, going to Corey, talking about Corey's point. So like she said, about 6 months ago, we started the channel and we really didn't have a direction for it. So we were actually going on vacation, and the goal was, before we went on vacation, was, hey, let's get this channel going. And my goal was to have at least one video uploaded before we sailed out of San Juan. So April 7th was when we sailed out, and we literally ran up to the top deck of the ship, recorded a really bad video in like a minute, and then we put it up, and I was so proud. I made my first video, and it's awful. So, but anyway, I didn't really have a direction for it. So I thought it'd be really cool to have this channel about traveling and just, whatever, just traveling. But then we don't travel like nonstop to the point that we can sustain a viable channel just based on travel. So then when we got home from that, we were thinking like, well, what can I make videos about now? Because we didn't have any vacations planned for quite a few months. And I thought, well, let's just start making some RP videos. So we did, and we started getting quite a bit of response, and we've actually met quite a few really cool people in the first couple of weeks. Like Marwan, he's actually one of the originals, along with Wrench Rage, Andrew. So both of you guys have been here from almost the start, which has been really cool. So we decided, let's make this video focused a little bit more about RP and just vision loss in general. And then as I started making more videos about it, I thought, you know what, this is actually really good for me, because it's something that I don't talk about. I never wanted to be associated with like low vision or blind, or even the communities on Facebook. And the reason is I just didn't want to. It was really hard for me to accept and just be part of that community. So I thought, you know what, I'm just not doing it. This was prior to the channel. And then, so once I started uploading these videos about RP and getting quite a bit of response from it, I thought, you know what, this is actually therapeutic for me to be talking about it. And then there's also been quite a few things throughout my life and the last couple of years with the more significant vision loss that I haven't talked with Corey or my family about. And I thought, you know what, this is actually a really cool way for me to make videos and tell my family, what I can see or what I'm dealing with through video versus trying to talk to them in person. Because realistically, and my parents watch all my videos, so when they come across this, they'll completely relate to this. I'm just not the type of person to bring things up as far as like sit down with my parents and tell them, oh, I'm having a hard time right now. I don't do that. Like, I never do that. I would rather be miserable inside than actually express that to my family or someone else. So I found that creating these videos was actually, relieving and therapeutic for me to just make these videos and then express to my friends and family how I'm feeling or what I'm dealing with or just what's going on in my life through video. So then, fast forward 6-7 months, which brings us to today. We've met a ton of really great people here on this channel, and it's been really fun making these videos. So we decided, you know what, let's just make this channel more about like RP and vision loss, and throw in some of the really cool things that we like to do too, just to show that people who are blind or visually impaired, that this isn't like the end of your life. This isn't it. If you're blind or visually impaired, there's still a lot of things that you can do, even though I completely recognize that it's difficult and you'll need assistance at times. You can still do just about everything you did prior to vision loss. So
I wanted to just say, because we've gotten some comments. So Marwan said that you're really helping him to like open up about his vision loss too, just like hearing from you and how much that's helped. Jackie wrote that she journals.
That's
and
excellent.
That she's been like enjoys like reading other people's stories.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrew wrote, oh gosh, Andrew just wrote a second ago. I feel so bad it's not up there anymore. But he wrote that it's not like being blind. It's not just being blind or like low vision or being like needing help, but it's just kind of like we're inconvenienced.
Yeah.
It's not like you're a burden, but it's just an inconvenience. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I'm going to cut in next time and read it so that Matt can hear it. But
yeah,
you guys having this community, having you guys, I just feel like is so good for us.
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's getting to the point now where it's like, when we started the channel, like, oh, cool, we got a comment. We got like one comment. This is sweet. And now it's like every day we're like, all right, let's carve out like an hour and a half to answer some comments. And then it's like, okay, we only got through half of them. I mean, it's awesome. It's really cool. I just can't believe the response and all of the cool people we've met and we've really gotten to know on this channel. So
it's funny because like we'll be talking to our families and we'll be like, oh my gosh, something about Marwan, or oh my gosh, something about Andrew. And it's like, I just feel like you guys are our friends, and it's been really fun.
Actually,
so our families like know you now.
Yeah. Wait, it's actually funny. This last cruise that we were on a couple of weeks ago, our dining partners were from Cleveland. And the first thing Corey said when they said, we're from Cleveland, Corey goes, oh, we have a friend from Cleveland, Marwan.
Yeah, we were so excited.
Just because, I don't know. It's just it's funny because we get to relate to all these people. And so, yeah. One other question or one other comment I wanted to say, Jackie, just to throw in there for you on all these questions is, where was I going with this? So I would say like the hardest part for me, Andrew, just like Andrew said, the hardest part for me is I always feel like I'm a burden, and I have ever since I stopped driving. So I stopped driving, I think it was just before my 22nd birthday, a few months before my 22nd birthday. So it's been about 12 years that I haven't been driving. So I've always felt like a burden because I want to go out and do things. I want to go somewhere and do something, but it's always like, hey, can I get a ride? It's just lame. So then I decide that, I guess I don't need to go. I don't want to do that because it's just, I don't want somebody else to constantly be driving me around. And the other hardest part for me is the loss of independence. I say this to Corey probably a few times per week, and it's just, I say something like, I just can't wait for the day that I get to do it on my own. Or all I want to do is just be able to go to the gym and work out by myself and not have Corey leading me around the gym. And it's nothing against her. I'm glad that we can go to the gym and work out together. But at the same time, I just want to go to the gym and do it myself. Or go to the grocery store, run to the Target and pick up 5 items by myself rather than being the guy that just stands behind the cart the whole time. So for me, it's like a huge hit to my ego. It's probably something I've never really expressed before, but for me, it's just really hard to always be led around by somebody else when I feel like I'm fully functioning with the exception of my vision. So it's just hard for me to say, like, to give everything up in a sense, just because I can't walk around and do things by myself as far as navigating. So, you have any other points?
I feel like that's really good. And as you've been talking, like Andrew just wrote that he gets how you feel.
Yeah.
Jackie wrote that she's started running. Like that's something that's helping her right now. She's still driving and she knows that it's probably, it's kind of a tough situation with that. So, yeah.
Jackie, I'd be curious to know, do you run outside or do you do more running on a treadmill? So you can just leave that in the comments if you want. I don't know. I guess I'm just always curious to know, because I feel like for me, I would love to be able to run outside. And it wouldn't be because I'd want to run outside necessarily versus a treadmill. It would just be more like the fact of having the freedom to just get out and run. And, basically there's no limit to the distance or wherever you want to go.
She's running on the road.
On the road?
Yep.
I hope sidewalks.
Matt would have to do sidewalks. Although for a while you were running outside, like Matt would run. Treadmills are hard for me. I run right off the thing. That's what Andrew said.
Yep.
And then Jackie wrote by myself. My husband is a runner, but I like my own time. I think we all agree with that.
Exactly. Yeah, so I also run off of a treadmill too. But what I do is if I run on a treadmill, I need to hold on with one hand, which if you're ever holding on to something when you're trying to run, it's not that easy, but it's the only way that I do it. Otherwise, I find myself going to the very back of the treadmill.
I don't know if it's still... Okay, good. It's on now. Andrew wrote, that's how I fall off my ride. It's hard not to drive, but when we do, my friends help sometimes, and also with Uber. We actually took our first Uber in Puerto Rico a week ago.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we were in San Juan. It was supposed to be like probably $25
$25
to the airport
with a taxi.
Yeah, so that's what we were gonna do. And then we heard some people talking about taking Uber, so I downloaded the app, and it was, how much was it?
$4.80. Yeah,
so
versus
cheap.
25.
We couldn't believe how cheap Uber was.
So we're hooked.
Yeah. So we were telling our Uber driver how great Uber was. He's done 12,000 trips. And I just said, this is the best thing that was ever invented. And it was invented years ago, but we don't do anything. So we don't take Uber.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. Jack wrote, I wish we had better Uber around my area. Where are you from? I don't think I know. Andrew, blind Uber driver. Good idea. LOL. Yeah. That could be Matt's part-time job.
So Andrew, I think we should start a business together. I just thought of it. We'll buy a couple self-driving Teslas. We'll sit in the driver's seat with our hands on the wheel, pretending like we're driving, and we'll just sit there and just talk. And we won't actually be driving. We'll just let the car do it.
Yeah.
And then when we drop the person off, we can be like, hey, just kidding. I'm actually blind. I wasn't driving.
Yeah. That would be one option. Another funny thing that I remember that Andrew said when you're talking is he said that he loses his cell phone all the time, so he has to ask Siri to talk, and then he can follow her voice to his phone. And I just thought that was kind of cute because it sounds like basically everything in our life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. We can't say her name because she's in the room, but it starts with an A, and she...
The Amazon Echo.
Yeah. And she hears everything we say, and so we're always talking to her because Matt will be like, hey, so-and-so, what time is it? And then she won't respond, but then I won't respond either. Yes, Marwan said it. Yeah. He'll ask her what time it is, and then I'll wait for him to her to respond, but then I won't respond, so then no one responds.
Yeah. So if she doesn't respond, I typically say, Corey, what time is it?
Yeah, and then I'll respond. But I always wait for her just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of any other questions, I kind of think that that's sort of it. Actually, Jackie's asking if she's a good helper. We like her. We also really like Siri. Who do you prefer, Alexa or Siri?
So let me show you. I have my cell phone in my pocket. I'm showing you what kind of phone I currently have. So here's the type of phone that I have right now. Hopefully you can see it. So it's one of these old phones. It's a slider phone. And it has the little keypad, whatever. So I've been using this thing, and the reason I use it is because it has the tactile keyboard, the 1 through 9 or whatever, 1 through 9 plus the star and pound. So I use that phone, and it's easy for me because I can feel the keyboard. So I actually don't use a smartphone on a daily basis. However, I do use one of Corey's old iPhones just here around the house. So when she's at work or she's away and I'm here, we have it on Wi-Fi, so that what we do is we can text each other through the iPhones. And then what I can actually do is just talk into the phone and send text to her that way. It's a lot easier than texting through my phone. So basically, I just use my phone for receiving and making calls. I don't really do any texting on it anymore.
And it's not, I just want to cut in and say, it's not that we can't, like, we can buy Matt an iPhone whenever he wants. So I don't want you guys to think that, like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting him his own iPhone.
Yeah,
we can buy an iPhone.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time transitioning into a smartphone because I feel like I'm not going to know how to use the thing. And I realize that's ridiculous coming from a millennial who basically grew up with technology. I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, I'm just having a hard time getting an iPhone or a smartphone.
Well, and part of it's that you're trying to decide which iPhone to get, or does he get an Android? You know, we've kind of been back and forth talking to people. There's pros and cons to each. So,
but anyway, getting back to your question, Jackie, you were asking what is better, the Amazon Echo Dot, I don't want to say her name, but you know who it is, or Siri. I'm actually finding that Siri is way better. Like, they don't even compare. Half the time I'll ask the Amazon device a question, she won't even know what I'm talking about. She'll say, I don't know, or I don't know that answer, or whatever she says, and then I'll ask Siri and she'll know right away. So another really cool thing about that iPhone is I carry it around with me when I'm at the house, and what I'll do is if I want to search something or I want to look at a YouTube video or something like that, I'll just hold the button down and say search YouTube, whatever, retinitis pigmentosa, and then it'll bring up all these videos and I just click on one. So it's so easy. Versus with the Echo Dot, I can't do anything like that. I can talk to her, but she can't bring me YouTube videos. But I also find her very helpful for
the Amazon Dot.
Yeah, the Amazon Dot. I find her very helpful when it comes to shopping lists and to-do lists. I find those very helpful because anytime we're in the kitchen, we just run out of a product and say, hey, add this to the shopping list. Or if I think of something that we need to do, we can just easily tell her to add it to the to-do list. So for those reasons, I find that she's very helpful. But overall, asking questions and searching on the web, I find that Siri is way, way better.
And Marwan just said that his Alexa responds to their Arabic. Like, they'll be talking in Arabic, really? And then she'll, like, respond. Yeah. She does that with English, too. We'll be talking, and then all of a sudden she'll pipe in, and it's like, dude, we didn't want your opinion. Yeah. Or for you to hear what we're talking about. Yeah. So.
But she's listening to everything.
Always. Yeah. But you know what's cool about Alexa is that it's and I don't know, I'm going to say this even though I'm cited. I don't know, maybe it's rude to say this, but it's like a normal person product that everybody has. Yeah. So what's kind of nice is that you can just go on Amazon, buy one for $40, and it's like a normal person thing to have in your house that really helps if you're low vision. Mm-hmm. It also has a messaging system on it, which is kind of cool. We've used it a tiny bit, but we end up just using our cell phones more. But I like it because it's a mainstream product that's cheap, that was like a big step for you. I feel like that was like a big deal when we got it because it helped you a ton. And you're going to show.
Yeah. So another product that I actually use is this. This is what Corey was reading Jackie's questions off of. I had my email up on it. Actually, what it is, it's an Amazon Fire 7 tablet. So it's basically like an iPad version. It's like the Amazon iPad version. So it's just the Amazon brand, and it's similar to an iPad, but it's not as fast and it's not as nice, but it still works.
And it's like $500 cheaper.
Yeah. So this like device, $50. I think it was $40, and it's basically it's just a tablet that does just everything that you would want it to do. I think it was $40, and so I mean it's dirt cheap. It's so cheap. It's incredible how cheap it is. But I use this device, and it actually has the Alexa built into it. So anytime the device is on, I can always just talk to her and ask her questions. So that's always pretty nice too. And then I also use this device. It has text to voice. So when I go on my email, this is how I check my emails, is I go on my email and then I just go to the email and then she reads it to me. This device will actually read it to me. And then as far as responding, if it's a long email, I'll actually go to my PC and then respond on an actual like physical keyboard, just because I can type a lot faster on my keyboard than I can on this device. So I use a variety of different devices, all in conjunction, working together to make my life a little bit easier. So I feel like at some point I'll probably get a smartphone, and then all of it will probably be on there, using all these different devices to basically achieve the same thing. So
it's all those little steps, and that's kind of part of the deal is, my sister actually was the one who found that Amazon Fire. Matt didn't really want to get it. We thought it's so cheap, let's do it anyways. And now it's been like a huge lifesaver. I mean, the first time it was like we were looking for coffee, like a certain kind of K-cup. And Matt's like, I'll look it up. And he, on his own, could like Google and find the K-cups online. And it was just like, it was a huge deal. It was at Christmas time. And again, I just thought, wow, like this is so cool that he can independently do this where he couldn't. He really couldn't find it on his computer.
No, really I wouldn't even try. I would never even try to find something on my computer like that. I'm just so slow on my computer and I can't see half the stuff on it. So I use my computer to do very rudimentary tasks, something that I don't need to see a whole lot. I actually use my computer more for record keeping. I have a lot of documents on there and I do a lot of just record keeping on my computer. So that's the main purpose for the computer. So anyway, if there's any other questions, throw them down in the comments real quick. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap this thing up here real soon. So this is really cool, a really cool very first live stream. It's been fun. It's been really cool to interact with all of you just in real time like this. It's been really fun. So I think we'll definitely be doing more of these. I think our goal will be, probably at least one live stream each week for now anyway. So I'm not sure what it will be about or which day, but we'll definitely let you know. Hopefully we can schedule the live stream so you have a heads up of when it will be, which day. And this was a really cool experience. So thank you for all of you for joining in this live stream. It's been fun.
Yeah, and thanks. Marwan wrote, okay, cool, guys. It's so nice. I enjoyed a lot. And Andrew wrote, technology is good.
Yeah.
This has been really fun to talk to you guys. So I'm just going to tell Matt the stats. There's been up to 6 people watching at once, which we think is so cool. Jackie wrote, thank you again for doing this. I need to go back and see the questions I missed. Marwan wrote, have a wonderful night. Have a good night, you guys, too.
Yeah, thanks, Marwan. Have a great weekend.
This has been so fun. We'll put out more videos. Matt will. But thanks for being part of our first real live stream.
Yeah, real live stream. Cool. Well, thanks, everybody. I really appreciate your support on this channel. It just means so much to me. And I just can't believe how much, the support and I don't know, the following that I have from YouTube so far, from all these really cool, great people. So anyway, it just really means a lot to me to have this community and be able to communicate with all of you. So have a great weekend, and thanks again for joining us. We will see all of you again sometime soon.
Thank you.
Thanks
Bye,
again.
guys.
See you soon. Have a great weekend. Okay.